What's going on, guys? It's your boy Joe back here again. Something that's really cool that I have going on is I almost have my combat patrol built up, right? So we started off with 10 corn berserkers. I think there's 10 jackals in there, and then the demon prince, lord of execution, and of course I had the Karn the betrayer. Where we are with Karn is I finished him up. So this is my Karn the betrayer, and he came out very nice. Right? Very, very nice. So super happy about him. And then I got my 10. They're not fully finished up just yet. And again, they're just, sprayed over, all that kind of good stuff. But I have the Corn Berserkers all built up. Something funny about this first model that I built, it's almost exactly like Karn. So like size comparison, and he has it, with the gun and everything like that, which I thought was hilarious because it's kind of the same model. Whenever I built this guy, I was like, oh, now I have two Karn the Betrayers. So this is Karn the Betrayer Jr. But I have all four of them built up. They're really cool models. I think something about them is, like, I have this, I guess he would be the sergeant, I guess, for the Khorne army. And so he's kind of, I gave him a chain sword instead of having a axe like the rest of them. So they all have axes except for him. And then he's got the little, I guess, the standard in the back there for the chaos. And just such cool models. They have like really good details on these guys. I mean, they are phenomenal models. So I'm excited about getting these guys painted this weekend. Right now it's currently Tuesday, so it's just been like a crazy work week for me, so I haven't really done a whole lot. And then Lord of Execution, he's a really interesting model. Again, I'm a fan of him. I really like I don't know what I'm going to do. I need to get some more like skin colors because he's wearing this like robe, if it's going to pick it up, and it's like skin. I don't know if it's picking it up. There we go. We can see it now. But it's like stitched together skin. So I was going to kind of make that like a tannish, looking like he's wearing skin. His giant axe is just sick. Just a really cool around model. He's got the two heads he's holding, but just such a cool model. Like really cool. I'm still favoring Karn. I think Karn is just awesome. Like just a really cool model with Karn. But just to have both these guys is really a privilege. I love these guys. Just the way they looked is just so cool. And then the big boy. And I built this how I wanted to build it. I know I'm going to have to play him with other ways, and I should have done the magnetizing for it. Being such a new player, I was so worried about that, and I don't want my first model to just be a complete dumpster fire with this. So I built up, and he's not fully done. Obviously, I just painted him up black prime for this. And yeah, I think he came out really good. So my demon prince, winged demon prince, and again, he's got that Khorne look to him, the horns. He's got that, it's like a goat, like demon kind of looking guy. Like just such a cool all-around model. Just such a cool model. And of course he has the axe. And he's just such a cool model. I mean, I love this dude. And he's huge. This is what you want out of a combat patrol. Like, where you see all the other combat patrols, like some of them you don't even get like a big model. And I'm just like, dude, just the fact that I can buy this combat patrol and get a giant model like this and a bunch of dudes, and then you of course get like a kind of leader type of deal for them, Lord of Execution. I haven't built up the jackals yet. I know they're going to be kind of like a foot slog with it. Also, I really want to get a little bit better with skin colors, just because I don't want to be painting them white. I was thinking I was going to kind of make them like a foggy, kind of gray, grungy, dark look to them. And I'm about to show you guys a couple of models that I painted up on my Space Marine, just so you see that like that dark kind of grungy look to them. Or I guess it's heavy metal is what it would be called. Like just like the way Karn is, like he's like washed in the back and like just a grungy kind of look to it, where he's like battle worn. He's been out there for, you know, thousands of years. Also, something I really like about these guys too is their eyes. I don't know if Karn's gonna pick up, but you can see where I dotted his eyes, and I got a 00 brush is what this is. So I got a 00 brush. My upgrades, this is the upgrades too that I'm just talking about. I know it's kind of all just flowing together, but it's like I got a 0 brush, or a 00 brush, I believe this is. And then, oh no, this is my starter brush. I have my 00 brush over on my desk, sorry. But I got a 00 brush, and then I got a 5 for painting kind of larger, which it's just for painting a little bit larger stuff. And I think that really helped out to like really cover surface areas on stuff. Like when I was painting Karn, and I'm kind of doing not real detail work, like the silver that I put on here, I used the 5 just to kind of put it on there and everything. And again, I'm thinning everything. I used my wet palette that I got, my $10 wet palette. So I did all that kind of stuff, and I was just using that. And I used my 0 for like the real fine details on stuff, just to make sure I got in there and everything wasn't so like busy looking or bleeding over onto stuff. And I'm just really happy with the way this model came out. I think I really did a good job on this. Just like on the inside of, like, if you look at the mouths, if this is going to focus, if you look at the mouths, like they show up on the inside, like you can see inside. I feel like the camera, just because I'm filming on an iPhone, doesn't really do it justice on how actually nice this model really came out for me. Like I feel like I really did a good job on this guy. And there's no like real stuff bleeding over or anything like that. And I definitely used a lot more wash than what I should have. I just wanted to like make sure I did a really good job of washing this to make it look that dark, like real grunge look to him. And I'm just so satisfied. So I can't wait to paint the rest of them up with this. And let me go like talk about something I found out with these guys that I'm so thankful for that I bought. And it seems it's kind of expensive compared to like a regular pair of them, but something that I found that is so useful when working with your minis is the Army Painter. And these are the like the angled nippers, where they have like a little angle to them, but they are like, it's like a flat on one side, and it's kind of like, I guess, beveled on the inside, but they're just so sharp. So like you could poke someone with this or yourself. They're super flat, but they're just high quality, which I really enjoy. But this makes everything so much easier for cutting sprues, like so much easier. Here, where's my jackals? I'm probably gonna get flamed in the comments for this, but here, just or here, this is not even a part of the sprue, so we're just gonna cut the main part of it. So it's just the whole thing, a snip and a snip. And I know that just flew off, but like I cut it at an angle so it went up, but like that's the cut on them. So it's, you know, I cut it up, but like whenever you're just cutting like the little stuff on there, so we're cutting at the end of the sword here, just cutting at the end of the sword, right? Just right there. You see it right here where it just cuts off and there's nothing left over. It just cuts so nice. So definitely invest in these. At my hobby store, they were like, I think I paid like $14 or something like that for the Army Painter ones. And obviously you can go online and get a cheaper pair, or you can go online and go get the What was Rogue Trader, Rogue Hobbyist using? The God ones or whatever. Like, I'm not gonna go out and spend, 60 or 100 or whatever they are for those crazy ones. But I think, 14, $15 for a good pair, that this is gonna last me forever. You're gonna buy it. Granted, if I ever lost it or anything, which hopefully I don't plan on doing, but it's not the end of the world. It's $15. This hobby altogether, you're going to spend some money, but you might as well get some nice stuff with it that's not going to mess it up, or like just cutting off all the little small stuff. Like, where's that Karn guy? Or here, perfect example. Like this guy, where he had that small little thing, the little chains and stuff, like just snipping that off is so easy. And before I was using a pair of like side cutters to cut that, and then like taking it and moving it to try to like break it off. I mean, just don't do that. Invest into a pair of these. Army Painter. They're really good. Pretty cheap. And the same brand that my brush is from. So, and I'm learning more that, the more I'm in the hobby, the more I'm trying to focus on the lore, the hobby paint correcting stuff. Like, I'm not trying to just run in here and like, if you're just looking to come in and, all right, I'm playing Corn Berserkers in this tournament, I'm just gonna paint him red, put like some speckles or something like on that in there, and that's your 3 coats or whatever, and maybe a wash, and that's gonna be your army. That's not what we're about here. I'm trying to like actually learn to paint better. So again, I started off on a small model like Karn, took my time. Well, I started my Space Marines. I did those. I did some of the Tyranids that came with the Space Marines. Found out like focusing on brush technique is so important with this hobby. And so that's what I really did, is slowed down. I got the correct sizes of brush for doing the correct size jobs. Like, you don't need to be spending all day doing the starter brush on every little fine detail and stuff. They make a 0, so for whenever you go to do, or the 0 for doing the dot on the eyes, to make sure you get the green in there and not paint the whole helmet. Unless there's other ways of doing it, like they do, I think it's like contrast paint and stuff like that, where you can get it and it looks like they're glowing. But again, starting out, get the right stuff. Don't mess it up. Don't ruin your minis, because, if I were to have cut this and messed Karn's chain or the little skulls at the bottom or something, like, I'd be like, oh my gosh, like, I ruined my mini. And, I got him secondhand. That's why I love him so much. But, for a model that's like a $45 or $60 model, like, model, you want to take care of it. So definitely invest into stuff, whether it's brushes, some snips or nips or whatever you want to call them. Make sure you get these, and just, you'll have a better all-around experience. You'll get to take your time. Make sure you base your minis too. That's something like when I did this, sorry, I'm getting a cold, I think. It's right now, it's February, 10th, February 10th, and I'm just like, I'm tired of all this snow we've had. It'll get cold, then it'll get hot, then it'll get cold, and I just get sick. But back to what I was saying, is something that's so important is making sure you base your minis. Like, when he was all done painted, I was like, dude, I'm so proud of this model. Like, I love this. But I knew it was missing something, and I was like, I don't know what it is. And after I based it, he legitimately looks more like a model. Like, he looks way more like a model now, and something I'm going to enjoy and I want to put on the table and be like, there's my Karn the Betrayer. There he is. That's him. That's who I want. He's going to cut you down. And before, it was like looking at this guy, like, it's just like a mini. He's got some characteristic because he's a cool model, but he's just a mini. There's a difference between something to show up on the table and look ready, looks, I'm not going to say professional, but, looks professional looking, looks like, oh yeah, you took your time and you care about it. So make sure you base your minis. That's something that I'm really enjoying doing, but at the same time, I was like, kind of stinks. But it was cool to get that Space Marine starter paint. It's called something. Hold on, let me grab it real quick. I have it over here. Oh no, that's the Krieg khaki. Here it is. This is what I was looking for. Citadel color technical Armageddon dust. So I thought it was called something different. So I guess the technical is what it is. And it's kind of like whenever I first opened it, like I was shaking it and then I go, all right, cool. And you get this kind of like goop looking stuff. Like it's not, doesn't look good. I was like, oh no, did I get a bad one? And then I was like, no, because I just opened the little teeth up on the side. I was looking at it and I was like, okay. And then I pull it out and it's kind of gritty. So it's like a sand and it's like a super fine sand. And so that's what gives it that texture to it. Like it's a texture, you know? So you get some texture and that's how Bason's done. But yeah, I'm just such a fan. I'm lusting over it. This model, it's so cool. So that's my army so far. I'm gonna be putting jackals together. Gosh, I love this dude. He's huge. Just such a cool model. But I'm just like, do I want to go off and paint these and do all this? I'm like, no. What I need to do is I need to build my jackals, and then I can go off and start painting up. But yeah, I'm actually not worried about painting this model because it's so big and you can like actually see the details. So I almost wish that I built this before I did Karn. I just was so excited about Karn. I was like, I'm excited about this miniature. So built him, painted him. Well, I didn't build him, but stripped it down. Well, what I had to do, the little bit on the gun had to be taken off because it looked like they started to paint silver, and it was not good. Oh, and the chains were purple. I left these things in simple green for a day and a half maybe, and it finally came off. And I'm talking, I pulled it out after 24 hours and was scrubbing it, and I was like, this purple is not coming off. I don't know what kind of paint they used, but it was on there. But I left it in there for another couple out. Like I said, it was like a day and a half, and it came off and it stripped it down to, the bare plastic, and then I washed it, but it came out great. So with this guy, I think he's going to be pretty easy because I'm leaving the wings black. I'm going to kind of like do some kind of like a highlight in on this, I guess, and put in like some white where it's, he's got the black wings. And then I'm going to paint the armor, obviously, red with the gold, because he's Khorne, obviously. You got to. And then the axe, I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with that. I was thinking red. And then I was thinking, like, do I want to make it like Karn's axe? Where it's like that, there we go. Where it's got that kind of like goldish bronze look to it. But on here, on the box, you kind of see, it's like a, if you can see it, it's like a black with bronze. And I'm not sure I fully like that. I mean, it's cool. It just looks like not what I want. So we're going to be painting that up, hopefully this weekend. But I got to do the jackals. Now I'm looking at them. They just look crazy. What I think is so funny about them too is like, these are like Imperial Guards. So what I really think about them, they're like what Imperial Guards are that like renegade and whatnot. So it's just funny. I also thought about like, if I was gonna do more jackals or something, I would probably buy like an Imperial Guard, like just a used one, and then just like chaos them up and maybe like give them some sort of like weapons or something, because I'm assuming with this I get more than just the weapons that are on here, or at least that's what it looks like. it looks like there's so many weapons there is. Hold on. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 if you count the chainsaw arm. That's kind of cool. And then, yes, so 20. So 20, just, yeah, 20 melee weapons alone. And then there's another sprue in here. I thought there was. Huh. I thought I had another sprue. I guess not. Maybe they don't get that many. Oh, so they got two-handed weapons. So you don't get enough. I thought they had bolt guns. I don't know why I thought they had bolt guns. I don't know about this. I might have to re-look into this. But yeah, anyways, so I'm going to have to paint up the jackals and figure something out about that. Where's the guy with the chainsaw arm? Is there a guy with a chainsaw arm in here? Huh. In here, there's no guy with a chainsaw arm. It does show a guy with a chainsaw arm. But anyways, I reiterate, I'm excited about this. I think World Eaters are going to do me well. I'm hitting people up in my, I was about to say my hobby. Hitting people up in my community on Discord. And just like, hey, you guys, I got my army ready. Does anyone want a game this Saturday and play a game of Combat Patrol? And I had a guy who was like, yeah, I got orcs, and then another guy that was saying like, I got Eldar. And so I got to look at what those all look like to see like, hey, what is something, because I think this is like 535, 520 it's just over 500 points of corn. And so like the World Eaters are good, but at the same time is I feel like the Eldar, was it the Eldar, or I think the Orc are under, because I don't think their Combat Patrol was very good apparently. It looks like they have a bunch of like the wild looking guys with like the bone swords and like the bone jar, the bone hand and all that, which is really cool looking models. I'm just not an Orc player. Really cool that they can kind of like go to the store, get like a Hot Wheels truck kind of thing, rip it apart, paint it all crazy, glue shit to the side of it, and there you go, you got a battle wagon. So that's cool, saves you probably a lot of money, and you know, converting's cool. So but yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that. So I think I'll probably try to play the Orc player. But the Eldar, I'm not too sure, because I asked him to send me a army list, and because they were like, oh, you're playing the Combat Patrol? Yeah, I can bring my Eldar army. And I was like, the Eldar Combat Patrol? And then they said, yeah, kind of. That's, I'm like, is that like, I like the fact that like Combat Patrol is supposed to be like, you and your buddy go buy one of these boxes, build up your models, put them together, you know, paint them or don't paint them, go out on the table, put them out there and say, here, this is my army, it's going against yours, and you just rip each other apart. That's why I like the World Eaters. But I don't know. I don't want some dude just to show up and be like, oh yeah, here's my Combat Patrol, and it's like the perfect Eldar army to like shoot me apart before I even get across the table because they made the Combat Patrol themselves. But also I don't want to like show up with these guys and they have, you know, 700 or 800 points worth of Eldar, and it's like, well, I should have you know, brought another Combat Patrol to be equal here. So unless I can give like some crazy blessings to this guy, because apparently he's really, really good with the wings, but at the same time is like, it's super expensive. I think how it is now is this is 200 something points for him regular. So I think with wings is probably like 300, I bet. It's probably something crazy. But I still, again, I haven't gotten into the rules with them. I'm really excited about it. Speaking of that, let's see. Because in the back of this book, this is another reason to buy. Is this it? Oh my gosh. It should have it in here. They're like stats and all that kind of good stuff. Or at least I hope it is. What in the world? Did I not get stats for these guys? Oh. It's right here. No. That's not it. What in the world? Where's my stats? I might have to go look into that. I thought there was a stat thing for these guys. Am I mistaken? Have I been duped? Demon Prince. What? Oh, maybe it's in here. No. That's just the corn little icon stuff. Huh. I thought one of the other ones, which was from my Space Marine, was it, but it's not. Is there really no stats in here? I might have to go print out a piece of paper. Look like a total noob. That's wild. It doesn't. It doesn't have anything about their stats in here. What the world? Combat Patrol, it's supposed to have everything. Unless I'm just a numbskull and it's somewhere hidden away from me, which I don't think it is. I don't know. I gotta look into that because I need to know my guy's stats. I thought there was like a little thing that had it at the bottom with like their chart for playing. That's interesting. It's not on the box. It's not in the box. Spruce? No. Huh. So you don't get your stats. You don't get to know your guy's stats. You have to probably go buy the online thing so you can know what everyone does. That's disappointing. You know what I'm going to do is go on to, what is it, Warhammer or whatever, and get them off of that. Use that to play. I'm all about free. That's one thing that a lot of these people that I've been talking to have been telling me is like, you don't need to go out and buy like the expensive rule book or spend a whole bunch of money on like codices unless you really want to for like the art and all that. But pretty much you can get everything online for free, which is kind of cool as a new player because I feel like I've spent a lot of money on these guys already. So I got it for what? Well, technically I got it for like $100, but I got $50 off. And then Karn was another, we'll say 20. So we're at 170. Basically 200 with all my doodads and all that kind of stuff to field an army. So we're at $200 for 500 points. So that's expensive. But you can always go online, like I said, and yeah, go pick up your stats and all that kind of stuff. And I wish I could go online and pick up some way of just you're painted. But unfortunately, no. This is going to be an undertaking. If I try to film this, I feel like I would be too nervous to film myself painting with these guys. I think it's better with a before and after. But drop a comment down below if you guys want to see me paint these guys, or if you think, you did a terrible job and you should never paint again because Karn looks terrible. Don't do that. But that's just something I know is not true. I definitely did a good job for a first army. It's not my first time painting minis, but it's my first time painting like my army that I'm going after, or my like official. This is the direction I'm going. I think this is a good way. I'm very excited that I got this. Got it for a smoking deal. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I'm gonna stop ranting here. You guys have a good night. And again, keep hammering on.